What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 99 of the Idiotic Sports Talk. I'm your host, Liam Gavin, coming to you live from my dining room, and today I just want to give you all a Week 17 recap around the NFL. Let's start with the Bears beating the Giants 29-3. Andy Dalton, 173 passing yards, a touchdown, and an interception. The running back, David Montgomery, had 64 rushing yards with 2 rushing touchdowns, and he also threw an interception on a trick play. As for quarterback Mike Glennon of the Giants, 24 passing yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. He also had 2 fumbles on the day. And Saquon Barkley had 102 rushing yards. So the Bears dominate the Giants and move to a 6-10 record. The Bears offense, they didn't look too bad, but the defense is what really went off. The defense caused 2 picks, 2 forced fumbles, 4 sacks, and 1 safety. Mike Glennon, Giants quarterback, man, he just did horrible. Only 24 passing yards. It's like, come on, man. Giants go to 4-12 on the season. Next is the Patriots beating the Jaguars 50-10. The rookie Mac Jones, 227 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. The rookie Ramondre Stevenson had 2 rushing touchdowns. Damian Harrison also had 2 rushing touchdowns. And Christian Wilkerson started his first game of the season, 4 catches, 42 yards for 2 touchdowns as well. Rookie Trevor Lawrence threw for 193 passing yards, a touchdown, and 3 interceptions, and Laquan Treadwell had 6 catches for 87 yards. So the Patriots humiliate the Jaguars, move to 10-6 on the season. The Patriots ran the ball efficiently, which they've done quite often this year. And Mac Jones, credit to him too. He had a great game, no turnovers, 3 touchdown passes, and the Patriots defense got 3 interceptions. They've been balling all year, so we could kind of expect this against a weak Jaguars offense, and the Jaguars just continue to lose. They've lost 8 games straight and are 2-14 on the season. Next is the Rams beating the Ravens 20-19. Matt Stafford, 309 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a fumble. Cooper Kupp, 6 catches, 95 yards, and a touchdown. And Odell Beckham has another touchdown catch since joining the Rams. Quarterback Tyler Huntley, 197 passing yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. And Mark Andrews, the tight end, 6 catches for 89 yards. So the Rams win their 5th straight to go 12-4 on the season. The Rams were down 16-7 in the 4th quarter, but were able to outscore the Ravens 13-3 in the 4th quarter. And it took a while for the Rams offense to get going, but meanwhile, the defense got it going on. They had an interception, a forced fumble, and 5 sacks on the day. Ravens can miss the playoffs with this loss. It's not looking good for them to make the playoffs. They are now 8-8 and have lost 5 games in a row. Next, we have the Bucs beating the Jets 28-24. Tom Brady, 410 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. We have Rob Gronkowski, this tight end, with 7 catches for 115 yards. And Cyril Grayson, 6 catches, 81 yards, and a touchdown. Zach Wilson, the rookie, threw for 234 passing yards, a touchdown, and no interceptions. Braxton Berrios had 8 catches, 65 yards, a touchdown, and a rushing touchdown on the day. So the Bucs come back from a 24-10 deficit and beat the Jets to go 12-4 on the season. In the final seconds of the 4th quarter, Tom Brady hit a clutch touchdown to Cyril Grayson, which sealed the win for him. And the main story is the Antonio Brown incident. Brown was seen storming off the field, throwing his gloves, his jersey into the stand. There's a lot of things speculating that Bruce Arians didn't want to play him, that he was hurt and took himself out. He had pay bonuses coming his way, and the Bucs didn't want to put him in. It's a whole lot of cluster. But anyway, Brown threw all of his gear into the crowd. He got the crowd going. He was hyping up the crowd. And then he got picked up by a private driver. The Bruce Arians, the coach of the Bucs, said that Brown is off the team, but they have not officially cut him yet. But let's talk about the Jets real quick. Credit to Zach Wilson. He looked good out there. He's been playing good the last few weeks. He's limited his turnovers, so Jets fans have a lot to look forward to. The Jets are 4-12 on the season. Next is the Bills beating the Falcons 29-15. Josh Allen, 120 passing yards, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions, but he did have 81 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Devin Singletary, 110 yards rushing and 2 rushing touchdowns for him. And as for quarterback Matt Ryan, 197 passing yards, no touchdowns or interceptions, but he did fumble the ball. And running back Mike Davis scored a rushing touchdown on the day. So the Bills win in a snowy game in Buffalo and go to 10-6 on the season. Josh Allen didn't have the best day passing, but he got it done using his legs. And the Bills' offense is rolling when the run game gets going. They had 233 rushing yards on the day. Normally, they don't run the ball that much, and their offense can struggle at times. But if they get the passing game and the offense going with the running game as well, they're going to be tough to stop. Matt Ryan was sacked 5 times. The offense just struggled all afternoon. And the Falcons are now 7-9 on the season and have been officially eliminated from the playoffs. Next is the Bengals winning a thriller 34-31 over the Chiefs. Joe Burrow, 446 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. The rookie Jamar Chase, 11 catches, 266 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes, 259 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And the running back, Darrell Williams, had 88 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns on the day. So the Bengals win their 3rd straight game and go to 10-6 on the season. The Bengals win the NFC North for the first time since 2015. Joe Burrow has back-to-back weeks where he threw for more than 400 yards in those games. And Jamar Chase, this is his 2nd game this season where he had over 200-plus yards. He's only a rookie, too, so just imagine the damage this guy's going to do in the league as the years go on for him. The Chiefs led 28-17 at half, but they couldn't put the Bengals away, and the Chiefs lost their 1 seed potentially, but they need a few things to go right for them so they could capture the 1 seed in the AFC. Chiefs are now 11-5 on the season. Next, we have the Titans beating the Dolphins 34-3. Ryan Tannehill, 120 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Deontay Foreman, 132 rushing yards and a touchdown. Mike Gesicki, 4 catches for 51 yards on the Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa, 205 passing yards, no touchdowns, an interception, and a fumble. So the Titans dominate the Dolphins by 31 points. The Titans are now at 11-5 record, and they hold the number 1 seed in the AFC currently. And Tannehill beats his former team, the Dolphins. And look at the 1-2 punch of Deontay Foreman and Dontrell Hilliard. They have both played exceptionally well since Derrick Henry's absence. The Dolphins' 7-game winning streak comes to an end, and they are eliminated from the playoffs. Tua's been playing pretty good over that 7-game stretch, honestly, and he hasn't been getting enough credit for it, but unfortunately, he played really bad on Sunday. The Dolphins are now 8-8 on the season. Next is the Raiders beating the Colts 23-20. Derek Carr, 255 passing yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Zay Jones, 8 catches for $120, and Hunter Renfrow, 7 catches, 76 yards, and a touchdown. As for quarterback Carson Wentz, 148 passing yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. And Jonathan Taylor, 108 rushing yards and a touchdown. So the Raiders get a huge win to keep their playoff hopes alive. They now won 3 straight games and moved to 9-7 on the season. And this Raiders win was definitely dedicated to John Madden. Rest in peace, John Madden. Passed away last week. Former Raiders coach, won them some Super Bowls. So there's definitely a lot of emotion going on in that game. Daniel Carlson, the kicker, he's absolutely clutch. He won the Raiders another game with his clutch field goal kicking. He's won the Raiders quite a few games this year with his boot, So Daniel Carlson, arguably the most clutch field goal kicker in the league. So the Colts, they didn't turn the ball over, and they still didn't win. They actually caused 2 turnovers of their own, but they couldn't get any points off of it, and because of that, the Colts are now 9-7 on the season. Next is the Eagles beating the Washington football team 20-16. Jalen Hurts, 214 passing yards, no touchdowns or interceptions. Boston Scott had 2 rushing touchdowns on the day, and Taylor Heineke, 247 passing yards, no touchdowns, and an interception, and Terry McLaurin, 7 catches for 61 yards. So the Eagles win their 3rd straight game, move to 9-7, and have now clinched a playoff spot. The Eagles ran the ball really well against the Washington defense, which the Eagles have been running the ball pretty well all season long, and Taylor Heineke just did not look good out there at all. Washington football team has now been swept by the Eagles. They moved to 6-10 on the season after losing 4 straight games. The Washington football team has now been eliminated from the playoffs. Next is the Chargers beating the Broncos 34-13. Justin Herbert, 237 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Mike Williams, 3 catches, 63 yards and a touchdown. Keenan Allen, 4 catches, 44 yards and a touchdown. As for Drew Lock, 245 passing yards, a touchdown and no interceptions. And tight end Noah Fant, 6 catches, 6 catches, 92 yards and a touchdown. So the Chargers moved to 9-7 with a win over their division rival. Herbert and the offense was clicking all afternoon. And shout out to the Chargers special teams because they had a huge kickoff return that led for a touchdown. And honestly, Drew Lock didn't play that bad out there. He didn't turn the ball over. I know there's been a lot of Drew Lock slander lately, but honestly, this game wasn't his fault. Broncos lost their third straight. They go to 7-9 in the season, are now eliminated from the playoffs. Next is the Niners beating the Texans 23-10. The rookie Trey Lance, 249 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Rookie Elijah Mitchell, 119 rushing yards, and Deebo Samuel, 3 catches, 63 yards, and a touchdown. Another rookie, Davis Mills, threw for 163 passing yards, a touchdown, and an interception. And Brandon Cooks, 7 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown. So the Niners keep their playoff hopes alive with this win and move to 9-7. Trey Lance played a pretty good game after replacing the injured Jimmy Garoppolo. The Niners' run game was on point with Elijah Mitchell back in the lineup, and the Texans' offense and defense just struggled all afternoon against the Niners, like they have been all season. Texans are now 4-12. Seahawks beat the Lions 41-29. Russell Wilson, 236 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Rashad Penny, 170 rushing yards and 2 rushing TDs. And DK Metcalf, 6 catches, 63 yards, and 3 TDs. Tim Boyle, 262 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And the rookie Amon-Ra St. Brown continues to impress, 8 catches, 111 yards, a touchdown, and a rushing touchdown. The Seahawks get a win and go to 6-10. The Seahawks finally got their offense going, but it's too late in the season since they're already eliminated from the playoffs. And Rashad Penny has been playing excellent, running the ball for the last few weeks. But like I said, it's a little too late in the season now. They needed this way earlier in the season. Tim Boyle replaces Jared Goff for the second straight game. And last week he did good. This week he did not do so good. The Lions now have 2 wins, 13 losses, and 1 tie on the season. Next is the Cardinals beating the Cowboys 25-22. Kyler Murray, 263 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Antoine Wesley, 4 catches, 30 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Quarterback Dak Prescott, 226 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a fumble. And Dalton Schultz, 6 catches for 54 yards. So the Cardinals moved to 11-5 with this win, and the Cardinals did a good job not turning the ball over at all this game. The Cowboys lost this game due to a missed field goal, penalties on both the offense and defense, and a Dak fumble. So Chase Edmonds fumbled the ball late in the game. The refs didn't review it for some reason. The Cowboys had no timeout, so they couldn't review it. But, that's not the real reason why the Cowboys lost, even though it was a clear fumble. Like I said, missed field goal, penalties, and a fumble late in the game. Cowboys go to 11-5 on the season. Next is the Saints beating the Panthers 18-10. Taysom Hill, 222 passing yards, a touchdown, and no interceptions. Alvin Kamara, 5 catches, 68 yards, and a touchdown. Sam Darnold, 132 passing yards, no touchdowns, an interception, and a fumble. And the rookie Chuba Hubbard had a rushing touchdown on the day. So the Saints go to 8-8 and keep their hopes alive in the playoff race. The Saints offense did a good job, but credit to their defense. They had a pick, a forced fumble, and 7 sacks. 3.5 of those sacks were by Cam Jordan. And the Panthers just continue to play poorly, despite no matter who the QB is. Panthers are now 5-11 and have lost 6 straight. Packers beat the Vikings 37-10. Aaron Rodgers, 288 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. A.J. Dillon had 2 rushing touchdowns on the night. And Devontae Adams, 11 catches, 136 yards, and a touchdown. As for Sean Mannion, he had 189 passing yards, a touchdown, and no interceptions. Justin Jefferson, 6 catches for 58 yards. And K.J. Osborne, 3 catches, 50 yards, and a touchdown. So the Packers run all over the Vikings and go to 13-3 on the season. Rodgers looked flawless out there once again, definitely the league's MVP. And the Packers' run game had 174 total rushing yards, while the Vikings only had 27 total rushing yards. Sean Mannion was thrown in the fire, and he didn't do that bad. Kirk Cousins wasn't playing, so in came Sean Mannion. He didn't turn the ball over, but he kind of looked helpless out there. Didn't have a lot of time to throw, and when he would throw, he would just be off target. The Vikings go to 7-9 on the season and have been eliminated. Last is the Monday Night Football game. We have the Steelers beating the Browns 26-14. Big Ben, 123 passing yards, a touchdown, and an interception. The rookie Najee Harris, 188 rushing yards and a touchdown. And Deontay Johnson, 8 catches, 31 yards for a touchdown. Baker Mayfield threw for 185 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And the tight ends, David Njoku and Harrison Bryant, each caught a touchdown pass. So the Steelers sweep the Browns on the season. Their record is now 8 wins, 7 losses, and 1 tie. The Steelers' playoff hopes are still alive. And this was Big Ben's last game at Heinz Field, and it was a win. And it's going to be weird not seeing Ben as the Steelers' quarterback next season. He's been their quarterback since I was 9. So he's been their quarterback for 17 seasons. And the rookie Najee Harris, man, he ran all over the Browns. And credit to the Steelers' defense. They had 2 interceptions and 9 sacks. 4 of those sacks were by TJ Watt. And Baker Mayfield just looked awful out there. If I'm the Browns, I am not re-signing him to a contract. And after losing 3 straight, the Browns are now 7-9 and are eliminated from the playoffs. So that's it for the Week 17 wrap-up. I hope you all enjoyed. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on my Instagram. Do what you can to like my content, share my content, and help this page grow. Thank you all. Have a wonderful night.